As a follow-up from the Top 25 Excel 2016 Tips and Tricks video, here's some additional advanced features. If you missed the original Top 25, follow the link at the end of this video and be sure to check out my Tips and Tricks playlist to see other videos for Outlook, Word, PowerPoint, OneDrive, Skype for Business, and Windows 10. Now let's get started. Number 1, Advanced Transpose. You probably already know how transpose works. You highlight a block of text, right-click and copy it, pick your target location, right-click, paste special, and choose transpose. Problem is if you make a change, the change is not reflected in the new target location. So how do you make that live? There's a simple way to do it. Go to your target location and make sure you highlight the rows and columns based on the size of that table. In this case, it's 2 by 6. Don't click anywhere and start typing equals transpose. Put in left parentheses and then highlight the block. Put in right parenthesis and instead of hitting enter, press Shift Control Enter. That transposes it to your target location. And now when you make changes, those changes are live. Number 2, Calendar Picker. Have you ever wanted a calendar to show up next to your dates? Here's a trick that might work, but first you're going to need to make sure that the Developer tab is available. So go to File, Options, and go to the Customize ribbon, and make sure this Developer is checked. Hit OK. That adds the Developer menu. Click on it, choose Insert, and come down here to the very bottom where the More Controls option is. Click that, and in the list, scroll down to the Date and Time Picker, and hit OK. And it wants you to place it on the screen somewhere, so I'm going to just select a spot right here. Now you're in design mode. If you turn that off, you can click on this and bring up a calendar. We're going to go back into design mode and select this entry and click Properties. And under the properties, I'm going to type in the cell B2 where that date is located. I'm going to close that properties window, turn design mode off, and now as I pick from the date, it automatically changes my B2 cell location. That gives you a convenient way to put a calendar on the screen. Number 3, slicers. Let's say we have a table with data that represents the color, size, and cost. We're used to filtering where we can select from the down arrow and choose just one option from the menu and filter out the data. There is a better method to be able to select the data. It's called slicers. Just highlight the whole table, go to Insert, choose Table, and make sure this check mark is turned on for My Table Has Headers. Hit OK. Now click inside of that table anywhere and go to Insert again and choose Slicer. It'll bring up all of the different filtered columns. Check all 3, hit OK, and now you have multiple slicers representing the data from your table. Now you can just click and select from the list, and it filters on the fly. You can clear the filter, choose a different one, and mix and match however you want. It's a much better method than a filter. Number 4, Scenario Manager. Scenario Manager is part of the what-if analysis in Excel. I'm looking at a car loan situation where I've plugged in the numbers at 6% for 60 months on a principal of $35,000. This will be the payment, and this is the total cost of the vehicle. What I want to do is create scenarios for a best case, a worst case, and a more likely case, and see how those numbers come out. Well, I could create those as separate columns and put in the data, but if you want to make changes on the fly, that's where the Scenario Manager comes in. Given that these 3 items are the variables that can be changed, I'm going to highlight them. I'm going to go to Data and click on What If Analysis and choose Scenario Manager. For the first entry, I'm going to click Add, and I'm going to call this one the best case. The cells that will change are already highlighted, and it's going to be those three. So I hit OK, and then it asks me to enter the values for each of those. So in the best case scenario, I might get some special program and I'll get 3%. But in order to get that deal, it's going to have to be 36 months, and they give me a price of $32,000. I hit OK, and it creates the best case scenario. Now I'm going to add the second one. We'll call that one the worst case. It still brings up the same cells. And the worst case scenario, 8%. It's going to have to be 60 months, and it's for the full price, $35,000. And finally, I'm going to add the likely. Hit OK. And the likely scenario is I'm going to get 4% for the 60 months at the 35,000 mark. Now I can come in here once I've created these and hit show, and it changes the numbers and changes the totals. So you can see for the best case scenario, my total payment over that period is going to be $33,000. I show the worst case scenario, and if I show the likely scenario, another option you have is you can click the summary, and it asks you what is the result cell, which is this one right here. And I can choose to do a scenario summary, or I can do a pivot table, but in this case, I'm going to do a summary. I hit OK. It brings up a new spreadsheet, and you can see the scenarios listed here under the best, worst, and likely case. It's a very handy tool, an easy method to look at a bunch of different scenarios and compare your results. Number 5, convert function. Convert is a function that allows you to convert data from one type of measurement into another. It's real simple. You just type in equals convert, the number you're converting from, and then you choose the measurement that you want to use. There are a million different ones to choose from here. And for example, I'm going to choose liters. Double click that, hit the comma, and now it gives me only the choices that I can convert liters into. So let's make it gallons. And there's my results. 100 liters is 26.42 gallons. That's real straightforward. You can see a lot of different choices for conversion, but let's take this a step further since it's advanced Excel. Number 6, convert currency live. Converting measurements is great, but what if you want to do currency conversion where currency rates change all the time? Here's a slick trick. Bring up a browser and search for X-Rates. This is an exchange rate website. Click on that, and you'll see that it's set to do $1 US into euros by default. We're going to go ahead and pick the rate table for the US dollar, and it brings up a list of the top 10 and a number of other currencies. All you have to do is copy the URL for this website with this link, go back to your spreadsheet, click on the Data tab, go to Get Data from Other Sources, and select From the Web. In the URL, paste the link that you just copied and hit OK. It brings up the tables that are available from that website, the first one being the top 10 list, and the second one being the full detail list. So we're going to select that one. Click Load. And there's your table added in. Now from the previous sheet, we can create a formula to take that value and multiply it by the Canadian dollar. Now you can take this a step further, create a VLOOKUP, and have selectable choices for the other currency. But now you have the data available from the website. And what you can do is if you come back to this sheet, you can also go up to Data, pick on Properties, and click this button to go to the Query Properties and set this to refresh automatically when opening the file or on a set number of minutes. And that's how you can get real-time currency conversion data. Number 7, hide cells. Here's a sneaky trick to hide cells. In this example, we have 3 times 5 equals 15. Let's say we want to hide this number 5 right here. If you right-click, go to Format Cells, and choose Custom, in the type, enter semicolon 3 times, and hit OK. That hides that cell even though it's still there. And if you change a number, it still works in a calculation. Number 8, remove blanks. Here's a shortcut method to remove blank rows from a list. Highlight the columns and hit Control-G. Click this special button and choose blanks and hit OK. It's now just highlighted all the blank rows. Press Control+ and then minus, and choose Shift Cells up and hit OK. That removes all the blank rows. Number 9, People Graph. People Graph is an Office 365 add-in that gives you a new way to represent data out of a table. In this example, we're going to have a region and a number of subscribers in that region. We want to represent it as a people graph. You go to Insert, click on the People Graph icon, or find it in the menu, and it brings up a generic display. Up in the upper right corner, you can see there's a spreadsheet that represents your data. This is where you select the data that you want to put in the graph. So I'm going to highlight that block of the table, hit Create, and I'm going to go in there and I'm going to change this to subscribers for the title. So there's your graph. You can also go into the settings and pick from different types, and also change the theme to a different color format. And if you don't want a person, you can select from these different icons to represent the data in your list. The nice thing is you can change these numbers and it updates it in your graph automatically. You can click on that in the corners and resize it as needed, move it around, copy and paste it into other applications. That's People Graph. Number 10, track changes. Just as with other Office applications, Excel can track changes. You may want to use this feature when collaborating on a spreadsheet with others so that you can see each person's edits. To enable it, go to the Review tab and click on Track Changes and select Highlight Changes. Make sure you check the box to track changes while editing. I'm going to choose All. You can also specify who you want to track changes for. Make sure that this Highlight Changes on Screen is checked and hit OK. Hit OK to save it. And now you can begin making changes to the data that you have in the list. You'll notice that each one of these changes puts a mark in the corner of each cell, and you can see who made the change and what time and date and what change was made. If another person opens this spreadsheet up, they'll see the same changes as well. These changes are just temporary until you accept them. If you come back to the Review tab and go to Track Changes, choose this Accept or Reject Changes option. It saves it again, hit OK. Now you can choose which changes you want reviewed. I'm going to select Not Yet Reviewed from everyone. Hit OK. And now it's going to step you through each one of the changes, and you're given a choice between accepting, rejecting, or you can just accept all the changes or reject them all. This looks correct. I'm going to hit Accept, and it moves to the next. When you're done, it marks all the ones that you've accepted, and you can save that with the spreadsheet. There's also an added feature that allows you to take a look at all the changes that were made by clicking on Track Changes again, and go to Highlight Changes. Select this check mark to list changes on a new sheet. It opens up a history of all the changes that were made, which cell, and what change was made from the old value to the new. When you're done and you've accepted or rejected all the different changes, come up here, go to Highlight Changes, and turn it off, and hit OK. It warns you that this will remove the workbook from shared use and save all the changes as permanent. Hit Yes, and you're done. Track Changes is a great collaborative tool that allows you to share information with other users. Number 11, Advanced Filter. We've seen filters and slicers, but there is another method to filter data from a table. It's called advanced filter. To prep for an advanced filter, I'm going to copy this heading information right over here and use it as a criteria selection area. And for our first advanced filter, I'm going to choose item 1. That's what I want to select from this list. If you go to Data, there's an advanced option in the Sort and Filter section. Click that, and it asks you for multiple information. So I'm going to choose first off to copy this to another location. The range that I'm going to select from is going to be this entire table. The criteria range is going to be the criteria range that we created. And the location I'm going to copy it to is right here. Hit OK, and as you can see, it pulled all item 1s from the table and put the results over here. Now the way this works is each thing that's on a row is an AND selection. So I can come in here and say, I want items 1 and items 2. Click the advanced again, but in this case the criteria range is going to be all of this, including the item 2 line. I'm going to copy it to another location. It's already set to the same place. I hit OK, and now it's pulled item 1s and item 2. Now let's say we want to do an OR. I'm going to take item 2 out, and I'm going to choose location A, both location A and item 1. Click the advanced filter again. The criteria range, I'm going to choose just that first row and hit OK. Now it found only one item 1 with the location A. Now we can take this a step further. I'm going to choose just location A, and I'm going to select all the ones that are greater than 20. I do the advanced, choose copy to a new location. The table, the criteria range, we'll select as just this, and the copy to location is correct. So there's the only location A that's greater than 20. So you can use some math in there as well. Advanced filter, it's a very powerful tool with a lot of options. Number 12, analysis tools. There is a hidden advanced Excel menu available. It's called analysis tools. It's not listed by default, so you have to add it manually. To do that, go to File, Options, and choose Add-ins. At the bottom, under Excel Add-ins, hit the Go button, and check this box for Analysis Tool Pack. Hit OK. That makes it show up under the Data tab right over here under Data Analysis. This brings up a number of statistical analysis tools, including correlation, linear regression, moving averages, all kinds of choices here. Now, I'm not going to go into the details because you can find videos that describe these in more depth, but just so you know that they are available from that menu, and that's how you get to it. Number 13, network days function. The network days function counts the number of working days between one date and another. Just type in equals network days and pick your start date and end date, and there's the number of working days between. Now, optionally, it has holidays that you can exclude. So for example, if I put in 4th of July, in the formula, the third parameter is the holidays. Hit enter, and there it subtracted the one holiday out of those two date ranges and counted only the work days. Number 14, embedding. Did you know you can take a spreadsheet table and insert into a Word document and have it update automatically? The key is make sure you close your spreadsheet first and open up Word, go to the Insert tab, and select this text insert object. Choose Create from File and browse to the file you want to insert. Make sure you check this Link to File and hit OK. That inserts your spreadsheet. Now let's go back to our spreadsheet. And we're going to change from 17 to 18. And we're going to add a total at the bottom. And we're going to save that. Close your spreadsheet again. Come back to your original Word document. If you right-click on that table, choose Update Link, and now it updates that information from the spreadsheet. That's embedding. Number 15, Advanced Select. Here's a trick to selecting objects and making changes to them. Let's say we want to modify all the item 1s in this list. All you have to do is go over to the Find and Select, click Find, type in item 1, choose Find All, and in this list down here, hit Control-A. That selects and highlights all the item 1s in the list. Now the trick is you can close this and come over to your formatting area and do all kinds of things like highlight those, change the color, clear them, and essentially it's doing it only to the ones that you've selected. That's Advanced Select. You've just watched the top 15 Advanced Excel 2016 tips and tricks. Click on the links coming up to see the original Excel 2016 tips and tricks video, or catch up on any of the other tips and tricks videos for Microsoft Office. And thanks for watching. Hey, if you want to see more videos like this one, please subscribe. And if you've enjoyed this video, be sure to click the thumbs up and leave a comment. I really do appreciate your support.